Welcome to Center Heist Productions. Please hit the like and subscribe down below in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciate that. Thank you to my followers and subscribers. I muchly appreciate that. Share it with your friends and family. If you come across the channel, please don't leave without it. Subscribing and hitting the likes helps the channel grow as we build a strong community here. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'd appreciate you doing that. Our mission statement here is we stick to avoiding gossip stories to get you here. We won't do it because 99% of the time it's bullshit. Uh, Other than that, we will stick to facts as they fall, and we do reviews, and we'll get into other things once we ever can upgrade our software. Anyway, let's get to it. This was last night's game. We had Vancouver in for our final home game stand, and it was a good game for the Habs. It was a good game, second up until the end of the second period. Too, for the Canucks, it was just they had to have been heartbroken when the Habs poured it on in the third, opened the game wide open. All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. Montreal gets a 6-3 victory. Things started off fairly even. 1 goal apiece in the first, 2 goals apiece in the second. And then the Canadians exploded in a very short span of time to get 3 goals in the third to clinch this thing and tie it up and to tie the game up. What I mean by that is win it, take this game out of Vancouver's reach, and they did so. And so that's that end of things. So that's trying to get a couple things to happen here. Okay, more on. Yeah. So then we will get here and let's get to it. We gave you the shots. Now, or no, we didn't. Shots on goal were 13-7 for Montreal in the first, 14-7 for Montreal in the second, 14-9 for Montreal in the third, for 41-23 shots in the final. That's the first time Montreal's done that in quite some time, get 40 plus shots. So that's quite substantial. So we just told you the shot department. Face-off percentage, Montreal did much better in this game, 55.8 to 44.2 in the face-off percentile. Power play, Montreal was at 100%, 1-for-1. What a bomb that was from. Oh Lord, now I can't even. That's bad. Anyway, and 0% for the Canucks. Penalty minutes were 4-2 for the Canadians. Hits 26-12 for the Canadians. Block shots 26-9. Did a great job in that for the Canadians. Giveaways 19-18 for Canadians. Takeaways 4 apiece. So let's get to the scoring. Noah Dobson, what a bomb that was for that power play goal. That was just, they took Dandon off of it. Actually, let's get to the scoring first before we go into that. With the first goal was Pedersen, who loses his man, and Kapanen couldn't catch him. So a little bit of slippage coverage on Kapanen's behalf. So he gets free and makes, as Carlson passes it to him from Hronek. And that was, oddly enough, they're not. Yeah, 11:53 in the first. Montreal comes back with Noah Dobson's bomb. What a missile that was. And they chose to take Hudson off the power play unit 1. And this appeared to be a great choice as Nick Suzuki won the face-off. And for Dobson is shooting from that point, he'd get a better shot off, and it worked. So Noah Dobson scores, and that was at 18-13. That tied things up. Then we went to the second, and this wasn't a pretty looking goal of Andrew Kane, assisted by Ratte, and this was kind of a screw up with the defense. Jacky and Gouli again. Kind of accidentally getting. I mean, he was starting to blow by. Ratte was by Jacky, and anyway, by the time Jacky turns around, it ends up being a collision with Gouli going over top of Jacky. So, snapshot by Kane capitalizes from a pass from Ratte. That's 150 snapshot wasn't a pretty. We didn't like that goal from our standpoint as a Canadian. But then we get the what a performance from Alexander Carrier. He comes back at 4:31 with a nice snapshot of his own, with a nice pass from Nick Suzuki and Alexander Texier, and so that ties things up at 4:31. Uh, then we get Carrier within seconds. Uh, Within 20 seconds, Carrier scores again with a beautiful pass, knowing to the front of the net. He picks, snaps it in, knowing where Slav was going to drop that pass in front of the net, and just headed right for it. What a great goal! What a good read! He read, knew how to read off of Slav, and that was also assisted by Demidov, and that was at 4:51. So great response for the Canadians, but then we get a goal from Max X and assisted by O'Connor and Joseph at 9:42. That evens things up. 3-3. We go into the third, and this is where Montreal just says, "Okay, enough's enough." Mike Matheson gets a nice snapshot off with a nice, beautiful pass set up from Caulfield and Texier, and so that was a good goal. Time was at 29 seconds in. They didn't waste any time. And here's funny, Juraj Slafkovsky, not very long after, gets a nice shot off, nice snapshot assisted by Demidov and Hudson. 107. That was so just several seconds in between. So it was quite the outburst. And then we got Kapanen getting a nice snapshot off, assisted by Demidov and Slav, uh, controlling the play, bringing it in, and setting it up. Snapshot 6:05. That ended everything for any hopes of Vancouver with a nice snapshot. That line is just gorgeous to watch. I just love that second line for Montreal. Um, just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. This was an awesome game for us. It gets tricky because we had a back-to-back and they play tonight. I'm not so keen that we're going to have this type of success with the Capitals. So don't get your hopes up, but let's pray to God that they can put on at least a respectable performance against Caps, because we seem to get our asses handed to by them. But another thing I wanted to bring up very fast was really disappointed with some of the comments I hear from some of the commentators and different podcasts. Are we forgetting what Yakub Dobish has done for the Habs? Everybody's on the bandwagon, and I love Fowler too. Get that totally. But I really don't like the treatment of Dobish in this process. He's the one why we've had most of the success at the beginning of the season when Monty couldn't hold anything together. And we're going to dump on Dobish and send him down to the AHL? I think that's a bunch of bullshit. To tell you the truth, I think and how many millions of chances are we giving Monty? It's clear that Dobish has earned his spot, and I just don't like the handling of this. He gets sent down and he gets mistreated in this. I'm going to be very disappointed in the Habs. I just hope, just because of the hype of Fowler, I'd love to see the two kids. I'm sorry, Monty had his opportunity, and I think so he played a couple of games a little better when he returned. But Dobish has Montreal in this position with his strong start to the season, and he's playing, enough. Although they took away his hotness, that's on the coaching staff. So why should he be disrespected and treated like that after he's the true reason we had the success in the first portion of the season? So yeah, I just wanted to, like I say, when I hear certain people on the other podcasts, really, they were pumping Dobish before, and then all of a sudden you're shitting on him. Or, yeah, he's the odd man out. No, he shouldn't be the odd man out. Monty should be the odd man out. Let's make it clear. And I don't mind if Montreal decides it, because I'd rather see Montreal send Fowler down and just let him play more with Laval. And they could always bring him up after trade deadline, because I'd like to see Montreal try to build up Monty's trade value and go with Monty and Dobish for now. And but to shit on Dobish after he's the guy who's performed way better than Monty this season, give me a break. Come on, guys, stop being so damn fickle, and get your thought process you're thinking Caps, and that goes to many big podcasts as well. Because, like I say, you're very fickle in your comments. You were so behind um, um, Dobish before, and then all of a sudden you turn on him because Monty, the Habs are giving Monty too many chances. Well, that doesn't mean that the kid should suffer. So I say, wake up and woe to you. Like, come on, don't be such fickle fans. Give to who has earned it, and the kids have both earned it in my books. And if anything, I would stick with the plan you had. Fowler can come up at any time once you move Monty off. That's all I got to say about that. You've seen it here at Center Ice Productions where the puck drops first. And yes, I know Dobish has cooled down a little bit, but that's on the coaching staff who didn't utilize when he was hot and just kept giving Monty too many chances. Let Dobish heat up again. Give him some back-to-back games because he does seem to be playing at least. And I right now I get a bad feeling he's going to get the crappy end of the stick in this, and it's not fair. So I just wanted to throw that in there. Thanks for watching. Go Habs, go.